This is a video showing corn yield response to nitrogen fertilizer using an Excel spreadsheet. I'm going to make the Excel spreadsheet fairly large here so that you can see the numbers easily. And what we're going to do is create two columns. One for our input, or X, which is really our nitrogen fertilizer. And we could label that as nitrogen fertilizer. Let me do that here. And then we're going to label another column for Y, and that is going to be our corn yield. Let me just call that corn yield. The first thing we need to do is lay down our nitrogen column, and we do that basically by starting with the number 0. And then we want to increase that in 10-unit increments. And watch how I do this. I say equals, then 0 plus 10. And I want to run this up to 200 pounds. And notice that I've used the first row for the label. And so in order to get this to show up at 200 pounds, I'm going to have to take and right click on this, copy, and then continue all the way down and paste to the 22nd row. Watch how I do this. There's a nice column from 0 to 200, and I only really had to type in one little formula to get there. Life will now get to be more complicated because I'm going to write my function over here, and my function is going to be y equals a times x plus b times x, and we'll use the little uppercase 6 here to make a squared term, plus c times x raised to the cubic power. Like that. Now that's just a piece of writing. That's really not a calculation there. That's just a piece of writing. And I'm going to put my A parameter in this green area here. And my A parameter is going to be 0.75. Then my B parameter is going to be smaller. And that's going to be 0.0044. And then finally, my C parameter is going to have a negative sign on it, and I'm going to go 0.000023. So the smaller parameters go on the cubic and square terms, and the biggest parameter goes on the linear terms. Then I'm going to set up my equation over here, and let me see if I can do this right. I want to say equals, watch this, $sign, well, let's put the parameter in, and then we'll add the $sign E, $sign 3. So let me step back here for a second, but I don't want to do it that way. Let me just put all of these in, and then I'll come back and put the dollar signs in. Whoops, I've forgotten something here. I want to go times A2, which is our 0 in our formula, plus, go down to our new parameter here, times A2 squared, plus my third parameter. Notice I use a plus sign even though I've got a negative sign on the term itself. but that's okay, times A2 cubed. Now, the only thing I'm missing here is I need to edit this formula. But first let me put the formula in up here and take a look at what I'm going to do now. I'm going to put a dollar sign